Okay, so obviously, Beardo has made a video on us as a team. I'm particularly targeted in this for reasons of my own fault, most likely. First of all, I want to explain that I'm an open skeptic. I do not personally think, it's a ghost or it's a demon or it's a poltergeist. I go to places, I capture stuff. Sometimes something happens, sometimes it doesn't. And to me, it's just left as unknown, and I don't know how it happens. Other members of the team may be believers; they're entitled to that. So I'm going to go through this in categorical order. If you see me looking over here, it's because I've made notes, so apologies for that, but I just can't remember all this off the top of my head. Now, I know that I've annoyed you. I know I rubbed you up on the wrong... Oh, fuck off, Mark. See, this is when I'm scripting stuff, I can't do it. So, and you say that I'm acting. You haven't, but some people have. What am I saying? I know that I rubbed you up in the wrong way. I've annoyed you, okay? I know I've done that, and I know you find me annoying, but I annoy lots of people. I've gone through most of my life. I'm like Marmite. In school, I had people treat me like shit. I've had people call me a freak. All sorts of shit. Whatever you want to believe from watching this video is up to you. You're entitled to an opinion. I don't personally like being called a liar. I stand by my integrity completely. And I don't really want to be like, let's use the word defamated by people. You, Dale, have a strong voice in the field. So people will take your say as gospel. And I just hope that they watch this with an open mind to see both sides of it, so then they can conclude it without being biased about it. The disagreement that we had on that video that you're talking about, it was about, you made a comment basically a few times actually in many lives where you said the people that get activity happen aren't, we basically said they aren't real. You said the only real channels out there are the ones that get absolutely nothing. And I was like, well, that's not true, because we do get stuff. So that was that, pretty much that argument. We spoke to each other. Yes, we came to an understanding, misunderstanding, etc, etc, etc. The video in question was actually up for a long time, and I removed it once I started playing games with you because it didn't seem relevant anymore. I didn't have that anger in me anymore. It was like we were just chatting and getting on all fine. In fact, you even said a couple of times, you even shouted us out, which I thanked you for, by the way, if you didn't notice, because that's not been mentioned anywhere. And yeah.
Haunted Truth. I don't think I've ever given Haunted Truth a shout out, but I've been watching more and more of this stuff, and I like the guys. And they're people I've had an argument with. I like the guys.
And then I see this other post. Debunkers. How debunkers are, and it was loathing and blah blah blah. It was a Grinch reenactment, and the guy does a very good impression. Now the guy doing the impression wasn't aiming it at anyone, but one of the guys in the team thought it would be funny to put debunkers at the beginning of it. And I really didn't take kindly to it, and neither did some people in the debunking community, and they were like, hey, with everything that's going on, do you think this is funny?
I've never put down the concept of debunking as a general thing. Like, there's people out there, Smug Puppy is an obvious one. Fair dues, debunk them. It was a joke. I even put it on another debunkers Discord, and a couple of people, they said, yeah, okay, it was a joke. A couple of people went, well, that went down like a lead balloon. I was like, well, it's just silly humour. It was satire over the entire concept of, like, even I made a video If anything, it more relates to me and the way I did my video. I don't think I took it down. I'm pretty sure it's still up. Obviously then you removed me from the Discord. Didn't even want to have a conversation with me. Didn't want to speak to me. You know, like adults. And I felt my hand was forced at the time. I acted out of impulse. You know, some people will defend me and say I've got ADHD. Others out there will go, well, that's not an excuse. But it's impulse. I just got angry, acted. I took a screenshot from your Discord, and soon after I realised, yeah, okay, I shouldn't have done that. It's got private people's names on there. I hold my hands up to that. Should have gone about it in a different way. I even apologised you for an email. You didn't reply. And from that point on, I didn't say anything else to you. I didn't ask you to look at our channel anymore. I didn't speak to you. I left you alone.
They get more evidence than, say, the Ouija Brothers, Ghosts on Trend, Dead Cold, myself, put together.
Yeah, so we get a lot more, maybe because we do things differently. I don't know many other teams out there that go into a place and say, if there's something here, do something, you absolute effing and jeffing. No one else does that. Should people do that? It's up to them. They can if they want, but personally, I don't think you're ever going to get anything big. It's like going up to a wasp's nest and going, hello wasps, or going up to a wasp's nest and smacking it. That's how I see it. It gets results.
Now can I say with 100% certainty that right here, they are faking? No. Why? Because I can't see around that corner.
When it moved. Here it is again in slow motion. Just look how it moves. It just comes out a little bit, goes in, and then comes all the way out. Like, it's as if somebody's physically tugging the...
Now, his description there is based around the actual light socket. The plate. That moving out. What he is completely ignoring is, if somebody's got their hand up higher than that and swings the cable that's clearly loose, that's how you could get that effect.
Okay, so Oakland Manor. Now, yes, that's the video that you're talking to. I get the title is very misleading in this. Yeah, okay. I'll hold my hands up to it being misleading because we're not saying it's a ghost. Well, I'm not anyway. I just don't know how it was done. The original video is if you were to watch it, you will see that in the entirety of that video, that one, the original Snuff Mills, and yeah, I think it's just those two. You'll see how I was big time skeptic, like it's this, it's that, I can explain everything. So in that particular video, there's actually a bit where I'm wafting to try and find out if it's the wind. Can I prove to you there's no one else around there? Well, surely they would show up, the shadow. But all I can say is there isn't. It isn't that. Is it paranormal? Heck if I know. Did it happen? Yes. If you've got another answer for it, I'm happy to hear that, but it isn't one of us.
Well, there's going to be some noise, Mark, because they're coming down.
The problem is that the bottom of the MF is not in shot. It is slightly out of shot and it looks like somebody's pushed the corner of it. Can I say with 100% certainty that somebody pushed that EMF and it wasn't a ghost? No. But this is much further on in their careers. They got multiple cameras. There's like 8 or 9 of them in this investigation. There's something with a shadow in the basement earlier on in the investigation, and it's clearly not a ghost. Check it out for yourself if you really want to. But this is the same thing as that light switch. Something happens and part of what is being moved is obscured.
The EMF, I've done a whole section literally for this as well. But the EMF, if you were to knock it, and this EMF, by the way, plastic. I'd seen a couple of comments saying sponge. I don't even think you think it's sponge, Dale. I mean, it's just not. If you knock it here, if you knock it at this point, it spins that way, whereas in the video it spins that way, and you'd have to knock it from this side, and even if you did that from that side, because it's this way round and this weighs more, it would have fallen off to the left. Newton's law of relativity, can't really argue with that. There was a couple of people as well that said a few other things which I'm going to cover in this video. I'm not really saying it's a ghost, I'm just saying it's happened again. Yeah. One of the first things was the framing of the position of when it actually, you know, falls off, which is obviously, this is like the angle that Chris is at. Now, yes, there are moments where you'd get to see more of it if he was to look left, like, and point it down a little bit more, because you could have pointed it down. But at the time, I believe you were rotating between us and upstairs, if I'm right in saying. That would have been really good there, if it had done it there. But you can't get these things on point. And I understand, you know, another camera with another angle, it would have been even better. But because we didn't know this was going to happen, it's not like we're going move the EMF and then focus in on the EMF. It was completely unknown. To us.
You could have 3 or 4 cameras on that area, but then people are just going to overcall it as overproven.
Well, some people might, yeah.
Well, I personally just always say, you know, you never know when stuff's going to happen. You need to be prepared for stuff. But how can you be prepared for stuff when you don't know it's going to happen? It's very, very difficult, isn't it? There's no room. There's no room for me to be anywhere else.
Yeah. Well, if I show, obviously this is Dan's filming upstairs, was all happening. There's the original clip here. If I show where he is, he comes down and looks, and then goes to see what Chris is doing. And if you see here, this is the sort of space that Chris is working with. This tiny little boxed area. And you're mainly concentrating on upstairs where they are and where we are in the room without even realising that this bloody thing's going to fall off. The other thing that a couple of people have said, and I did speak about this as well, is the actual shadow in the moments of where it's fallen off. Now, if I go to this one here, because this is the same file, 0011, and you know, we zoom up on it, right?
Yeah, just
make it bigger. Lock these. Is it that one? Yeah.
Yeah, because what strikes my interest is people go in that there is a shadow, and it must be one of you. Well, we know it's not any of us. We know that. Definitely.
Well, yeah. Well, here's
what amazes me is that what shadow are they talking about? Because if there is a shadow, I want to flip and see it. Like people saying it's not.
There is a shadow, and it's this one here, and I thought that that's got to be the EMF shadow as the EMF's falling off, casting on that, because it only happens the moment it goes to fall there, and you see this shadow here.
Yeah, so what's the big deal?
Well, some people obviously are saying, is that something that's pushing it? Now, if it were something that's pushing it, it would have to push from the top, not the bottom, because if you push from, let's say, this left side here, it's not going to go clockwise, it's going to go anti-clockwise. If you were to flick it at all, and then it would also fall left, not right. And that shadow that some people are referring to, you would see it here hitting this top end, and there's nothing there, and the shadow only forms in the moments that it's fallen off. So my personal opinion is that it is the EMF.
Yeah, it's definitely the EMF. Like, there's no question. If people are going to say it's not, then that's their opinion.
Yeah, people can say that, and if somebody says that it's definitely not the EMF's shadow because of, like, let's say they've got some knowledge on that, then if I go back to when it
Can you do me
happened,
a favour? Can you just show me, not just for me, but for everyone as well? Because are we recording this as well? Yeah?
yes.
Yeah. Okay. Can you just show the other angle from you?
So the other angle, when I find it, one of these, I think it's this one. A good question. Was it? Ah, it's this one here. 1100 thingy. So this is everything going on, and that's when it falls off. So we are sat chilling in this area, and
God, it's sideways.
yes, it's sideways. Shall I bring it into the edit and make it right way up here, or does it?
The noise mark because they're coming down.
So people's brains don't start to melt from watching a sideways clip.
Yeah, there you are.
And this is the full file.
Oh, a lot of files, isn't it?
Yeah. And we're just like just chilling. Oh, so that's obviously it come off.
You've jumped a bit
Yeah,
there.
I have. So I'm going through like bit by bit. There's no point in making you watch it all. There's only got up to the bit where it falls off, which I'm assuming is about here.
And you feel
Known
it
by
in
the
your chair,
peak
that's what it
in the
felt
audio.
like.
And then I'm not even thinking to film them out there. I'm thinking to film these guys because I'm in that room with them.
If you're knocking up there, by the way, clarify that it's
Yeah.
you.
God, when does that happen? Ah, right here.
Right there.
Upstairs, give them a nice loud bang.
So, just in here, and then you can see,
What was that?
turn round. There's
No one
nobody here. You can see exactly where Chris is. You can see the door shut,
What was that?
and
My
you can
EMF.
see where the EMF has landed.
There you are. See? I mean, like, it's... yeah. I don't know what to say, mate. It's fallen off the banister.
All I know what to say is, it is what it is, and
Yeah, but we're
we
here
don't have an answer for it.
Why do we do this? Because we're looking for the paranormal, right?
That might be what you do. I do it because I look for the paranormal and then try and figure it out.
Yeah.
So
but
things like this does my head in.
Yeah, but like you have to try and find a logical answer, because then you know what is and what ain't. But like there isn't one for this, really, in theory.
The
First
only
thing.
thing which is a massive stretch, and I mean a massive stretch, is if even with the doors and windows shut, if by some chance, I think mathematically, statistically, which is a huge chance, a wind could have specifically travelled past that point in that moment and was only felt, well, not felt per se by the EMF, but not felt by Chris and not felt by us, or not reacting to anything else in the room, and it was just a freak gust that came from nowhere. But that sounds a little bit far-fetched in itself, doesn't it? That seems a bit out there.
Just a bit. Yeah, all right. Okay.
But that's
Welcome to the Big Bang Theory. Hello, Sheldon.
I'm pretty sure that a physicist, because physicists say that at any given moment oxygen could just go to one corner of the room for no apparent reason. So
I'm not doing this for any other reason than to have a look at answers. And
I'm not saying that is the reason, because it's too out there for me. It's like, nah.
Pretty pointless we doing all this if none of it existed. You know, I mean,
Yeah.
you used to do it to prove it didn't, and then all of a sudden you've had your own experiences, and that may state your own experiences to make you go, wow, okay, there's definitely something. So it's not pointless.
We'll leave
I
it at
think
that, because at the moment they're looking at a screen and it'd be boring for them. Any other questions, any other queries, ask me, come to me, because I'm here to answer them. I will be open and honest, and anything else you want to see, I'm here to show you. That's it.
I state it's actually nice one debunker has actually come forward and spoke to us decently.
Yeah. Anyway, I'll leave it
Yeah.
at that.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching, guys.
All right. Okay, bye.
There.
You got scratches on there or anything? Have you got a burger? That's quite nice.
His leg is moving. His leg is moving before the table moves. Now, we can't see the bottom of the table. We can't see the legs of the table to the floor. Again, is this proof of fakery? I think so. The guy in the background with the baseball cap on, you see his leg move a few times and then the table leg moves. One of them's getting up, both of these other guys' legs are moving, and there's a guy at the other end. We can't see their feet against the table legs. Again, this isn't 100%, but this is a lot of activity for this team.
The Ram, so Robin was a guest. She joined us as a guest, not one of our normal team. She had the view of everybody, and she couldn't get any further back into that wall. So for me to get an even wider shot there, it wasn't going to happen. And I know you were saying, like, you know, I've got a lot of cameras. I didn't have as many cameras. So, you know, I started off with one, then I got two, and so on and so forth. Did we think that it was going to do that? No. So there's no pre-thought on going, well, I'll put that down there and make sure and blah, blah, blah. You're also missing out massive sections of that where Billy is testing it. Now, yes, we are blaming. So I blamed Chris because I thought he got up when I got up, and everyone's blaming me because I got up and they think it's me that moved the table as I got up. Clearly it's not me because, you know, I'm well away from it at that point. But Billy shows you how heavy that table is and what, you know, the sort of, you'd have to do that in order to lift it. So I went with that.
And if you would have moved, listen to me, you were sat here, right? You would have had to do this. And I would have saw you.
No, it didn't move that way.
No, it went.
Yeah, but look at me. Yeah, but look at me now, right? Chris was here, right? Look at my feet. Even if Chris was your head there, you're gonna have to do this.
Yeah.
Look at me doing my all my
went
force over
proper
that.
up as
Yeah,
well.
I went proper up.
You
I
can see the body.
You
move.
can't
do it again.
Yeah.
Yeah, look, I'll show you this now, right, for both of you, because this is a proof now, right? I'm a relatively strong person, right? I would say that, right? This is Chris, right? To move the table like he did, you would have to do this. Like that. You can't just go, look at me. I can't even fucking move it.
And it come up off the floor.
Come off the floor. That's no chance would that have been any of us.
Was there a camera looking at the screen of a phone, which makes no sense? It goes over.
The tripod wasn't on anything unsteady. It was there for quite a while.
The tripod falls over, but a camera behind you that's following it also falls into a different direction.
Tripod, I mean, it fell over. Could there be a reason? That's natural, of course. A lorry could have gone by or something. I don't know. You know what I mean? What you're seeing there, I know there's just get the confusion. Chris is filming with his phone. Sorry. It's on his phone and it's being filmed with a camera. And when it gets to the bit where it falls over, he sort of goes like that. So, yeah, I get he should have just stayed still. But
they're getting knocks in the house, but the family that they were investigating, this poltergeist house, are present the entire time. And there's confusion as to how many people are there, because people are walking between rooms and stuff, and you're like, I thought you said only the mum was there. Well, who's this younger girl that's just walked through the frame? But this guy has got his arm behind the door frame. Now, did this guy knock the wall on command? I can't prove that because I can't see it. However, logically and common sense, did a ghost knock the wall, or was it this guy stood half in a door frame?
The knocks, they're always going to be ambiguous no matter where we go. No matter where we go, there's always going to be, is this an old building? Is it pipes? Is it this? Is it that? Even there, you know, you could say, oh, is it the neighbours? Like, and who's this other girl? He said there's a younger girl in here. Where's that to? So, yeah, I can see that angle was a bit bad with Josh. 100% I can see that. But I actually have another angle, and here it is.
Make a big loud bang, please.
Fuck off.
Yeah, there it is.
There you are. There you are. There
There you are. There it is. And I can categorically tell you
That they're the same every time.
you're sat
Exactly
there
the same kind of.
doing nothing. I don't know. It's sort of
It's
like
up here.
there.
It's up here.
So it can't be him, which means it's something. Clearly it's something, but what? I don't know.
It's not a snarl. It's a speech pattern from a toy with the batteries running out. Because they start to sound slow and pretty creepy. But they've already seen a toy do this in the video and claimed it to be paranormal.
The snarl, I mean, to be honest with you, I'd never thought that before. That's not something you actually mentioned to me in the past. What you mentioned to me in the past about was the batteries maybe causing the movement of the toy, which I'll get to in a bit. I'm pretty sure you didn't. Go back over your stuff if you like and prove me wrong, but I'm pretty sure you didn't. So I've never heard that sound before. There's no other clips where that sound happens. I actually have the toy here. Okay, so they let me have it and it makes a beep. So this is low batteries. Okay, this is low batteries and I'm going to leave it going for the remainder of this video. I'm going to put him there and we will see if he makes any noises or if he does a little wobble. That's even disbalanced slightly. It's weighted on the bottom. It's quite heavy. Right, moving on.
A bell got thrown off a wall. It wasn't on camera at all. Nothing was in shot. There is no proof. All we see is him with the camera on his face. We hear the bell and then they turn around and it's on the floor. We don't know where anyone is. We can't see any... I can't say it's a string because you can't see the bell.
Since when do you ask something to happen and it happens straight away? Like, that's so rare. And that bell I've taken to so many places before, asking it to go off and it never went off. When that did come off that wall, my reaction was through the roof. Because, and I you know, some people are like, oh, I'm over the top. Well, you would be over the top of as well if a bloody bell come off the wall. So stop chatting waffle. You haven't said that, but some people have. Now, yeah, I can't prove otherwise because I don't have the shot. It's shit that I don't have the shot. That's all I can say.
But we can't see the ladder from bottom to top. There's stuff all around here behind it. We don't know what's to this side. And if I didn't know any better, I'd say there's somebody stood there as pushed.
So the ladder is seen in 2 shots. You do get a slightly better view of it. Behind it, that is a door. So if anybody was to open that, you would hear it. It would have been nice to have a shot that way. It's just unfortunate there isn't. So I can't really say more than that ladder moved. I'm in the attic and all I see is this. And you're lucky to get bloody Chris down there if they're filming at the same time. He's trying to film forward and figure out the settings and then it happens behind him.
A toy starts moving on its own and falls over. That, again, to me, is a toy that's going to move anyway. That's what it does. It's a penguin that wobbles and it falls over. So there's stuff in the attic, Christmas decorations that sing, talk, move, etc.
Teddy. That it just falls over by itself. This was one of the things which you did say, could it be a mechanism inside? Again, I'd never thought of that before, but I've done a lot of tests on it, being turned on, battery being turned off, because I did turn it off in the video, and I also left a battery in there for ages so it ran down. I've not had it happen to me yet. That doesn't mean it can't, but it hasn't happened yet.
To me, what you're seeing is not the toy coming out of the room. It's the shadow of whatever has just fallen out of the attic behind that guy. Now, did they stage that? Did they fake that? Did they lie about that? Eventually, he just leaned forward, something's fallen out the attic, and he didn't realise, and they've assumed it's come out of the room because of the shadow.
I can't believe, as a debunker that you are, that you think that has come from above. It comes from left to right. I'm going to show you now. Other people can watch this as well. You can see it coming from left to right. Okay, so just to cover this, this is several photographs that Chris took. He hit the button and it was set to time lapse and it just took loads. He was trying to sort out his flash and he ended up taking loads of them. I'm filming this on my computer so I can go frame by frame. I've whacked up the contrast and everything. But here it is. And you will notice on the left, see this? Coming out of the room. Not from above. Dunk, 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 dunk. There is there. Obviously motion blur. Dun, dun, dun. And then it goes from here to here. And there it is there. And there it is hitting this. And you can see that it then falls down onto the floor, which was captured by the camera down on the floor as it landed. Yes, Chris should have gone round and in and under and fucking checked the roof and checked the bloody thing there just in case someone went out the window. But, you know, it's unfortunate that he didn't. I can't prove there's no one behind that area. You can take that or leave it. It's up to you. But honestly, hand on my heart, there's no one in there. Not only that, but I actually was on a live that entire evening. So with that ladder and everything and thinking something's fallen out and stuff like that, here's another angle. So if something happens over there... What was that, Chris? What was that? I heard it. Were you filming?
Yeah.
Did you see it?
Yeah.
Where did it come from?
The room.
We don't always get something. You're sort of making it out that we always get stuff. I chose the top moments for this video, hence top 10. It's not top we sit and do nothing. You know what I mean? So yeah, you're gonna get the good bits in this. Well, we don't always get stuff either. There are episodes like the Limeworks where we got Soddle. I'm actually editing one at the moment where I don't think anything happens there. I think it's dead. It's dead. No pun intended. But you're only focusing on the stuff we have got. You're not focusing on the fact that I've spent like 4 to 6 hours in a place, which I can prove because I have the original footage of absolutely sod all happening. There's not much more I can say that. Like, we had a all right relationship. I screwed it over. My fault. I get that. And I apologise for that. I think it's a real shame that a lot of people in the comments have jumped straight on the bandwagon of fake, on the, you know, the assumption, the implied assumption of what you're saying in this. And that's the bit they've picked, and they haven't bothered looking or asking or coming to me and or anything. They've just jumped on that straight away. But do you know what? I don't think you have debunked this, Dale. Even though you haven't literally said this is all fake, it's implied, and they're all having their little say without even saying anything. Now that's really annoying. So I hope that they watch this as well. But I personally don't think that from what you've said that it's been debunked under the label of the I think it's them. You've made an assumption. I've backed up this as much as I can. You're still entitled to that. But other than you know, with the toy and the mechanics and stuff like that, which is all logical stuff, I don't think this has been debunked. Because you've sort of missed a lot out. You didn't show everything. You've just sort of picked the bits that you wanted to take a personal hit against me because I annoyed you. I know you said you hadn't done it in the past because you didn't want to, but you've chosen to do it now because we've fallen out, and you've personally, I think that you are stretching on this, and you've only done it out of spite. This is my passion. I got into the paranormal as a complete skeptic, heard weird things, went, oh shit, what's going on? This shit's real. I don't know what it is. and it's made me fascinated. But people pecking and stuff, it's just riled me up. And I've said a few things that are stupid. Got into a few arguments with people that are stupid. But I love doing it. I think there is something going on. I don't know what that something is. If you've watched this all the way through, then thanks. Even if you don't believe anything that I'm saying. Now, there is a bit of an issue with some of the statements regarding activity of people catching activity. I think, and I genuinely believe this, that there are people out there that get a hell of a lot of things happening that are weird. Some of them don't even bother talking to people about it because of the stigma that is seen through the comments section and maybe some things that you're saying. They're worried that people are just going to call them a liar, and so they don't say anything to anybody. And that's an issue. And then obviously there's other people that might be coming into the field, and what happens if they've caught stuff and it's genuine? Then they have to be under that stigma and not trusted because you clearly won't accept that it's real. As a believer, these things can happen, right? And I'm not saying as me as a believer, I'm saying you say you're a believer. So why can't you accept that they've happened?